HBO greenlights a sequel to, well, should I say prequel to the Game of Thrones series. Could DC finally be getting their shit together? Maybe not. First images of Wonder Woman 1984 and first images of Aquabro. And on the focal point, we get down into details of the AT&T and Time Warner merger and what it will mean for Disney, Comcast, and Fox. And speaking of Comcast and Fox, if the Disney deal doesn't go through, what will Comcast do with the X-Men? Let's get the show started. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, enemies and friends, welcome to the show that never ends. You are tuned into On the Real on the R Squared Network. I am your host, Steve Johnson, and joining me today is my brother from the same mother, Mr. Johnson.
Hello out there in TV land.
All right. And the last best hope for the resistance, Mr. Woods.
What up?
How are we all doing today?
Chilling, man.
Not bad.
Everybody's happy, everybody's good.
Same
week,
old shit, different day, man. Back in this mother sucker once again.
All right.
Well, fun fact.
The
only thing that Nixon did right was making Father's Day official.
Okay.
But let me ask you a question. Is it official?
No. Somebody forgot about that. They thought it was last week or the week after.
It should be called National Here's Some Socks because it was the thing I could get on sale day.
Or a tie.
Like on Mother's Day, it's like diamonds and, taking my mom to dinner. It flowers and everything. Give them some socks.
Listen, double fun fact.
That is the fourth sweater.
Highest, or most popular holiday.
What?
Father's Day. It's Christmas, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, and then Father's Day.
Interesting. You know what, though? Honestly, as I get older and as a father,
right,
I actually really appreciate socks as gifts.
Because
I'm like the guy, if I want something
socks?
during the year, I buy it.
Right.
But socks, underwear, ties.
You could always use more socks, man.
Always.
Triple fun fact.
Okay.
Only for today.
Yeah.
Right? In lieu of Father's Day, right,
yes.
coming up. 900% increase since the 1960s. This I didn't know. I looked this up. This I didn't know personally. But 900% of is single dads.
Yes.
Okay.
Right? Fourth fun fact and last, and then we're off this topic.
Okay.
Right? Is that there's also an increase. The U.S. Census Bureau has said that there's an increase in stay-at-home dads.
Wow.
I'm trying to join that crowd.
You damn near are a stay-at-home dad.
Soon.
Mostly.
Depends on how well the show does.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right,
but
now,
that's
let
50%
us
of the
get
time.
into
Right.
the news. Okay, so our good buddy George R.R. Martin is going to just make even more money.
There's not a third R in there?
R.
Okay.
Not to be
Or is it
confused.
R?
Yeah.
Is it George Martin?
And
That's a
I
skill, I
also
can't do
wonder, J.R.R. Tolkien.
You know how that goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Anyways, HBO has greenlit the prequel series, or a pilot, because they're actually working on 5 separate series to see which one can come to production first.
Okay.
And they have
So they're throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks.
Yes, and they've greenlit the first pilot.
Okay.
And the woman that you see on screen, her last name is Goldman. I can't remember her first name right now, but it's her version of the prequel. And we also should not fail to note that instead of writing book 6 of A Song of Ice and Fire, George R.R. Martin opted to write a 1,000-page prequel chronicling the rise of Rhaegar Targaryen. I wonder what the show's going to be about.
The rise of
Rhaegar Targaryen.
Targaryen.
It's just like
that's a guess.
It's just like that's new hotness,
right?
So we're going with that.
And also, people are gonna say like, it's based on some kind of book. They have something to go off of, and
Yo, you're gonna be mad about her first name.
What is it?
Jane.
Jane Goldberg?
No, Jane Goldman.
Goldman.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm just plain Jane.
Yes. Yes. I don't know. I hope that this is not a Fear the Walking Dead kind of thing.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? Like that's their highest grossing show ever.
No, you want to know why I don't think it will be? Because Game of Thrones has a way of masterfully introducing new characters, and you all of a sudden invested in them.
Let me.
It's always never like, okay, I don't give a f about this character.
Right.
Everybody that has screen time, they're intriguing when they're on the screen.
Right. Here's the problem, though.
Yeah.
Benioff and Weiss, the guys that have been behind the Game of Thrones for all 7 seasons that you've seen it on TV, they have nothing to do with this. They're moving over to Star Wars. So, yeah.
Yeah, they should have stuck to what they know because Star Wars is like fair.
No, but maybe they can bring Star Wars back.
Maybe. We'll see.
So, I'm watching it.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it, but if it's trash, I'm going to stop watching it.
You're going to give the pilot a chance.
I watched the first season of Fear the Walking Dead.
Because from the first episode of Game of Thrones, they had me. So if I watch the first couple of episodes and it has me, then, it got me. But if it's trash, I'm going to say it's trash and I'm done. I'm not going to keep watching.
Will y'all be opposed to if they went a different route, that it's still the Game of Thrones, look and style, but it's not all of this gratuitous, I guess, sex and violence and stuff like that?
What is Game of Thrones without sex and violence?
So dragons.
Yeah, so I'm just saying,
No. Okay, they could get rid of the sex. But you need the murder, right?
You need the plot twist. You need the murder. You need the backstabbing.
Yeah, I don't need all. I don't need all the nudity. Okay. I don't have to have it.
All right.
No jizz.
I don't mind it.
No jizz on the side of the face.
I don't need it. Now, by the way, I am on.
Ski mother effers.
I'm on to a new series right now. New fantasy series. It is just as detailed. Each book is no less than 1,000 pages. Some of the books are longer than Game of Thrones. Right. They are 3 books into it so far. I've read all 3.
Big name drop.
Have you actually read them or listened to them?
Mind your business, okay? Now,
ain't nobody got time to be reading all them goddamn books.
The books are
1.5 speed.
It's 1.25.
Exactly.
I don't like it to sound like. Anyway, the point is,
okay.
It's the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. They're 3 books into it. They have 10 books planned.
Right.
It is amazing.
Okay.
It is Game of Thrones, but with less sex, lots of action.
Right.
And no real cursing. Right.
Okay.
But this is like if you took the detail and character development of Game of Thrones and then you mixed in Dragon Ball style fighting.
Right.
That's what this is. Like
they're making this into a show?
Well, Brandon Sanderson has sold the film rights, right? Okay. And he it's also a part of a connected universe because there's also the Mistborn series, which I haven't read. So he's basically creating a fantasy. What he calls it is his fantasy MCU.
Okay.
Of books, and he sold the film rights. So if they can get it together, by the way, these movies would be $200 million if you made them. Right. I don't even know how you'd make them into a show, just because.
That was just like mad loud and aggressive. Jeez.
Okay.
Come on, brother.
So yes. Anyway, the Stormlight Archive, The Way of Kings, Words of Radiance, and Oathbringer. Kaladin Stormbreast, Blessed, and Dalinar Kholin.
Stormbreast.
What are these names are you speaking?
Don't worry, they will be household names, just like Jon Snow is household.
If they ever
names.
make this into a show,
they will.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway,
right.
You digress because we're supposed to be talking about Game of Thrones prequel.
Clearly, he's out there plugging. He's out there plugging.
I feel good that I read something.
Yeah, but we got to keep the show 45 minutes.
Yes. The Memoji movie. I hope that's not what they do. But Apple
this is actually a real thing.
Getting into the film business. No, it will not be about
emojis.
No.
Okay.
But they are getting into the animated film business.
It's going to be about emojis.
With the same company that brought The Breadwinner to us. That was the Oscar-nominated cartoon film that was nothing like the Pixar stuff.
Right.
So I think they're gonna go very highbrow, and they're shooting for Oscar quality stuff.
Okay.
And remember, Apple has roots in the animation business. Like Steve Jobs, when he originally left Apple, he kind of started Pixar.
Shout out to Erica. Appreciate the watch.
Hey, Erica, how you doing?
Thank you.
Okay, so what do we think about this? Apple is speaking of big conglomerates. Well,
right.
We'll get to that later.
We'll get to that. Right. So what is it? Cartoon Saloon that they're getting in conjunction with?
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
I remember them from like small little like clips and stuff like that, little animations using Flash and stuff. And I didn't know that they were that major, you know, so that shows
for Oscar. They might have won. As a matter
that
of
shows
fact.
My lack of knowledge on them. So that's what's up that they're doing their thing on that. My only thing is that it's kind of just the signs of the time. So everybody's trying to, buddy up and take care of media and everything else. So what do you expect? Right?
I mean, yeah. I just don't know how I feel about Apple. I mean, but then how do you feel about
AT&T, man? Like, come on, guy.
Here's a question. Maybe Apple will just buy Fox.
Man, don't you
they
put
got
that
the
juju
money
out there, man. I don't want nobody to get it but Disney. That's it. Let me get my Wolverine in the damn Avengers movie, man, before I die. Let me see it. And that's the only way that's going to happen is if Disney gets it. I don't give a crap about none of these other companies, whoever. F all of them. F all of them.
Right.
Like,
he's
all I care
at this Fox deal. He's like,
I need it, man. All of them have to be together. Like, I don't give a crap if they get any of the other properties, just the X-Men and Fantastic Four. That's it.
Look, man, as far as with Apple linking up and getting into the animation field, it's all about content. It's about
as long as they make good movies, man.
It's how much content you can gather up, how much can you put out there. I won't be surprised. Eventually, they're going to open up their own bigger studio, get into films. You're going to have Apple film. I think Apple actually already has films, right?
They have TV series as a part of their Apple Music subscription.
I mean, it's the same. Look, it's all coming down the
pipeline. Man, if you're already paying subscription fees, they might as well put more content so it's more money they can make.
Exactly.
Okay. It's just it's fine, right? It's just weird.
No, I'm not fine with any I like Apple to be Apple. Exactly. I like Apple to be Apple with the music and stuff like that. I like Amazon to be Amazon, but Amazon is in everything. They're going into healthcare. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Like, get your money, man.
If
you have money, the object is to make more money, to get more into more businesses, so you can make more money. So it's just like, I'm not mad. That's the nature of the beast. You know what I'm saying? That's why you do. You flip your money and then get more money, get other businesses. You don't just stick it to one thing. It's just like, why not make us all the money possible, you know?
Yeah, I understand, but there's also a skill set that comes with it that it's almost as if
I'm just saying it's core competencies that companies have. But again, Amazon breaks that mold. Like, you started messing with Amazon
they ship you stuff
for shopping.
And now you watch TV on there.
Yeah, but it's not only that. Like, they're behind... Food. They bought Whole Foods, but it's not only that.
Robotics.
Also, again, they are now like the cloud machines behind all of your favorite apps. Like, they are the computers that are running sort of all the world. AWS is like the biggest cloud service there is.
Guy, healthcare.
I know. I it's crazy.
You're gonna have on your card Amazon Healthcare.
Yeah.
From A to Z.
Okay.
All your medications in one place.
Why is that so crazy? You might just start seeing Amazon restaurants.
Come on, guys.
Whole Food. They own Whole Foods.
But I'm talking restaurants, like chain restaurants.
Sure, why not? See, here's the thing.
Fast food.
It just feels like we're coming to a point where there's just going to be, like, every company's going to gobble each other up, and then one company's going to be in charge of everything, and then it'll be 1984.
That's a book I've read.
We're getting there. Or it could be a comic book you read.
Even if you're...
That's not next, but it would have been a good segue.
Hey, listen.
It's just like nowadays, even if you come up with something, even if you get
Nightly
successful,
news.
Somebody will buy you up. Some larger company will buy you up. Either that or they will crush you. So it's just like, how much opportunity is there for the little guy anymore?
That's the big question.
You know? As long as you're giving them a cut, the opportunities are there, right?
But yeah, you're still working for somebody instead of working for yourself.
I mean, I don't want to get into that philosophical argument, but I feel like you're never really working for yourself. The nature of putting something out there to sell, even if you're working for the customer, that's not for you, right? But whatever. Let's move on to the next.
We're working for us right now.
Listen, man.
Sure, but we're working to create content for the people. And if they don't like what we do, we got to change.
Exactly.
So, are we working for ourselves?
Are we?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Next topic.
Yes.
Okay. That was simple. I guess you figured it out. All right. More drama with Stan the Man Lee.
Man, why don't they leave Stan Lee alone, man? He's like 1,000 years old, man. Why are they bothering this man
honestly,
and trying to bamboozle him in the last days of his life?
Why
are they, what's up with the elder abuse?
I'm getting tired of talking about this. Not tired like, oh, Stan Lee's in the news again, but like, why? Who the hell is around Stan Lee? Like, there's
wasn't there a report that he got robbed? Like 2 people ran up on him.
Yes, like
with guns.
That really happened?
That was what the report says.
People are scum.
But anyway, let me talk about what we're talking about.
Protect Stan Lee at all costs is what I'm saying.
So Stan Lee, 95 years old, in his twilight years, has now
just lost his wife.
Yes, and we know that there was all that drama around his daughter, and
the people who were supposed to be taking care of him.
People trying to sign for homes and get mortgages out in his name and things.
Remember,
like
you
that.
don't know how he's grieving over the death of his wife.
Right.
You know, that's not okay, yeah, she's gone.
So the thing is, right now they're saying his longtime business partner, Stan Lee, has filed for a restraining order against him, right? And that his business partner was also arrested the next day
for filing a false police report.
Yes. Now my question is, did Stan Lee even file? Who filed the police report? Right, because that's the same business partner where a couple of weeks, maybe a month or 2 back, had him on camera saying like, "This is the only guy that you should trust."
Right, nobody else.
He's always trusted him.
So was he under duress then, or is he under duress now?
Right.
And again,
he said nobody was forcing him to make this video. That's what he said.
That video,
but why?
The video of when he said, "This is the only person you're supposed to trust."
Yeah,
this is my very good friend.
But then the dude behind the camera was also like, "Don't forget to mention."
He was just like, "The hell with that." Stan Lee was like, "The hell with that." But
to mention what?
Macular degeneration.
Yeah.
That was about him signing contracts that he wasn't. And then there's a lawsuit where he's suing POW Comics for like $1 billion or something like that. And again, who is he really worried about that at 95 years old?
I think it's a bunch of people trying to get a cut of the pie, and then they tell Stan to sign whatever papers, and then he's not aware of it, and then he hears about it, so then he tries to get out of it. But it's like so many people doing it from so many different angles.
Right.
It's hard to put a finger on it, but everybody's trying to get a piece of the pie.
But that's
it's just like people move in. Like, it's just like they did that to Michael Jackson, Right. It's just like it was so many people, and just because he trusts people, they would try to get into his inner circle, like do these things for him, and then he would feel that he needed them around.
It's always
and then
the lawyers.
They tell him sign this and sign that, and then meanwhile, because he trusts these people with his money, he doesn't even know where the money's going, and they're all cutting side deals. But people are scum. People are scum.
The lawyers are always getting that large chunk from whatever the estate is.
They're saying this could even potentially be his like family members and stuff. Like,
which is quite possible because as he's on his, let's be honest about it, as he's nearing the end, he's preparing to walk off the stage. That's gonna be an S show. You know what I mean? That's gonna be a crap show. So you're going to see a lot of people trying to see, okay, what can we gobble up? Like LeVar just said, what can we gobble up and get for us? Whether it's the lawsuit, when that money's coming in, or all of this money that's happening from Disney, the mergers, everything. Everybody's trying to make sure that they're set for life.
And I get it.
And they wasn't shooting with them in the gym.
They're looking at Avengers Infinity War making the money it made, and we'll talk about that in a second, and all these other movies.
Yep.
From his ideas, not just his alone, but you know what I mean?
He's
been the face of it. Like, I just feel like at this stage in his life, like, this, like, There's nobody around in the industry.
You mean like someone legit around him to say, like, yo, cut all this out?
Cut
but
all this shit out. Like,
if you're not family, you can't jump in.
Flowers at this guy until he walks off the stage. Like,
somebody should be protecting Stan Lee.
A lot of work in it, and to see even if he was nobody, right? He could just be somebody's regular grandfather that never made any of these stuff that we spend so much time getting it joy out of.
Okay.
Why are we treating a 95-year-old person like this?
But there's another question,
though. Societal rules.
Even though he's 95, right? Where should the money go after he dies? Who's supposed to get the money?
Like, legit question?
That's a legit question. Who should be the one making these decisions right now? Because there's a lot of money to be made in his image, and Stan Lee t-shirts and Stan Lee merchandise, and you know, those subscription things where it's like his name on it, and like he endorses it, just like with, you know, Bruce Lee's image, like how his daughter and his, you know, his wife or his widow get the money if his widow didn't die. I know his daughter is definitely still alive, but who gets the money?
Who knows if the lawyer is in the daughter's ear?
Like the action figures and the t-shirts and all of that stuff, who's supposed to be making the decisions on that? I guarantee you there's a bunch of people, there's a bunch of carriers and hangers-on who are, you know, have had him sign documentation that he may not, you know, have been aware of the authenticity of or where the money was going to, but shouldn't his daughter be the sole person to control that?
But his daughter is...
You don't know how strained that relationship is.
Like, I don't know how the relationship is.
That's what I'm saying. His daughter, there's been police reports filed saying his daughter, like, abused him too.
Then no.
And I don't know.
I don't know what's true. But that's what I'm saying. That there's a possibility where there's a lawyer who's in her ear saying, do you know how much your father is worth? Like, when he's
potentially.
Potentially, like, yo, you got to get this. You got to write whatever ship you need to write. And, like, smile for the cameras and say you love your father and you've always loved him, because there's some money to be made here.
Yeah.
You don't have to ever work.
And you want to get it. It's definitely people in her
you don't have to ever work. You don't have to do anything. Your family, whomever.
All right, well, I know nobody's listening to us, but if somebody's listening to us who...
Protect Stan Lee, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Robert Downey Jr., get on it, man. Star-Lord, one of you. I don't know if
it's for Robert Downey Jr. to do, but somebody in his family,
man.
Somebody in the circle.
It doesn't work like that. You know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, the last thing I'll just say is that in terms of how American society operates, right, is that you are as good as your last project, and what can you do, right? Once the body grows old, it's all right, on to the next one. That's how we treat
Avengers Infinity War is still out.
Yo, that's how we treat the elderly. That's how we treat entertainers. That's how we treat musicians, whomever, athletes, whomever. It's that in your prime, you get it, you make all that money, you show us that you can do all of these things, and as soon as you hit past that point, I don't care about you. Tear them down and move on.
But that's not Stan Lee, though, man. Stan Lee is a national treasure. Stan Lee is a person that we should all protect.
Yes,
I wish I hope somebody does.
My guy, the reality is how elderly are treated here. It says a lot about your country based upon two things: your educational system, of how you treat your kids in your educational system, and how you treat the elderly.
Well,
and
also,
the U.S. sucks.
I also regard. Just if you read not the 48 Laws of Power, but the 33 Strategies of War.
Right.
Robert Greene sort of talks about Eastern versus Western philosophy.
Right.
And in Western philosophy, we sort of promote individualism.
Yep.
Whereas the individual is more important than the whole.
Versus Eastern philosophy.
Eastern philosophy is you are not a grandfather. You represent the archetype of elder knowledge.
Right.
And so Eastern philosophies who may sometimes have not as good a track record in human rights because they think about the whole as opposed to the individual.
Right.
They actually respect elders more than we do, because in the individualist society, we have a better track record with human rights, right?
Right, for the individual.
But it's like it's only that individual that is productive.
When they say,
right?
It's
that, weird. It's a weird philosophy thing, but
no. But when they say that, like, it takes a village to raise a child, right? That's from the mindset of it takes not only your father and your mother, but your brother, your uncle, your aunt, your grandmother, all of these people who are giving knowledge and information and passing it on to this precious being, male, boy or girl, to go out into the world with a mass amount of knowledge from all different age groups and people, and then they know how to make decisions for themselves. So that's what that's about, which is why that Eastern philosophy matters of, it's about the group, it's about the whole, but hey.
Hey, Carolyn, how you doing?
Whatevs.
All right, now let's move on to the next thing. $2 billion, baby. Avengers this week officially passed the $2 billion mark at the box office. This is making it the 4th highest grossing film of all time, domestically as well as internationally. It holds both that number 4 spot. Right. Domestically, the only 3 films in front of it are Star Wars: The Force Awakens, Avatar, and Black Panther.
Shout out to Black Panther, bro. Wakanda forever.
Internationally, there are only 3 films in front of Infinity War, which currently sits at $2.006 billion, which is $2.006 billion. Is The Force Awakens in the number 3 slot with $2.068 billion. So, so it's 62 million behind that, but we'll see what it does this weekend. In the number 2 spot is Titanic with $2.2 billion. And the number 1 spot, another James Cameron film, is Avatar at $2.8 billion.
2.8 billion worldwide. Yes. Avatar,
and it came out in 2009.
Wow.
So you could even add a little bit.
There's no way it's gonna catch that.
Of course not. But nobody ever thought it was. The question is, can it pass The Force Awakens?
But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Had Deadpool and this other stuff not come out and it was by itself, do you think it could have?
There is something to note that the other 3 movies in the $1 billion club, in the $2 billion club, all came out in December and had no competition for at least 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, it had too much competition.
Infinity War,
it had a week to itself.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and that's what, and I was saying the runtime. That's my only thought, that it was runtime, because it's a long runtime. It's 3 hours.
Titanic was 3 hours and some change. So.
Yeah, but Titanic is what, 3rd now, right, or something like that?
It's 3rd.
Yeah. So.
Avatar
was a smooth.
Did you get it? I texted.
No. Okay. So.
Check it.
Time to move on to the next thing, which is. Okay. This is going to be a good one, folks. Right now, the rest of the show is all going to be related to DC. The
DC is staying.
How does that make it a good
bro.
one? Why
how's that good, man? You don't see all this Marvel merchandise over here? Marvel is clearly winning.
Really is.
Okay.
Like, they holding L's, bro. Nobody are we excited for Aqua, bro?
Oh, I can't stay in my seat.
But let's intro it.
We're gonna come to that in a second.
We're jumping the gun here.
I'm losing my mind about Aqua,
bro.
Just
give me a second here. So,
but did you get that, Steve?
Yes. Now, behind the scenes, some high-level people in the Warner Brothers offices say that the DC film universe, DCFU, is a shit show.
Yes.
And there are big changes coming. And now this week, we see that some of those changes have already started to happen, whereas Geoff Johns, who was previously the chief creative officer, is stepping down from his role to focus on individual projects where he produces and writes. And his first project will be Green Lantern Corps, which he so expertly brought back to the forefront in the comics world. We'll see if he can turn it into a movie, but he is no longer overseeing the whole project. The person stepping in place for him is Jim Lee, who is currently in charge of all the creative things
in the comic books.
In the comic books. So again, Jim Lee, who has no film production experience.
Right.
Why not?
Why not?
You want to know why? Because Jim Lee is the greatest artist in like comic book history.
What does that have to do with being a film producer?
But if he's the one running DC stuff, from what I read, people say like DC is killing Marvel right now in terms of storylines and things that are going on, like with the Rebirth thing, and like with the whole Dark Universe, and like like the Batman Who Laughs and all these things that are going on in DC Universe. So if Jim Lee is the one heading all this, creative resurgence in DC, and he got it figured out in the comic books, and he knows the splash pages and whatever, because nowadays you be seeing a lot of stuff straight from the comics, like these crazy scenes. Like if he can do that in the comics, then maybe he can do it, in film.
Okay.
They have to figure out...
he's not the one directing the movies, but he knows good stories.
They have to figure out a 5 to 10 year plan solely on, okay, these are the stories that we want to tell. And we're not going to derive from that. We are going to stay on course and showcase this film after this film after this film after this film. And we're going to take our time and we're going to put a product out. And we're not trying to beat anyone but ourselves.
Yeah.
Now,
they should just put out one-off films and like the best stories.
Speaking of one-off films, some more news has come out. Now, we know that... Walter Hamada is going to be in charge of basically he's going to be the CEO of the DCFU. Basically, he's going to be he's in the top position.
Okay.
He decides what movies get made, and right now he has said the thing that they are looking. He looked at the entire slate, and he says that he has greenlit, or not greenlit, but sort of. Are moving along with 2 separate Joker projects. We talked about this last week.
Yes.
One with...
Joaquin Phoenix, and the other with Jared Leto.
Yes, but the Joaquin Phoenix, he said they're going to do a $55 million budget.
Is that a part of the... Is that a part of the world of...
No.
Ben Affleck is out, but is that a part of the Ben Affleck world?
No. So what Hamada wants
Heath
to do...
Heath Ledger is a part of the Ben Affleck world.
He wants to have a separate...
Heath Ledger is a part of the Ben Affleck
I mean, not Heath Ledger. I mean, Jared Leto.
Oh, okay.
He wants to have a separate arm of DC films that are all just one-offs. So it's like
okay.
And so you can
so this is not any connected story. This is just their own thing.
Yeah. So randomly, if you just want to do like an Elseworld story, you can do it.
Okay.
It's kind of like Batman Forever and Batman and Robin were their own like separate thing. You just accept it's a new Batman or whatever. They don't give you no backstory. But Batman is Batman.
Right, and just
there's only one.
That's it.
There's one problem with that though, right? You can talk about Batman Forever and Batman and Robin and Batman Returns and Batman Begins. Here's the problem. You didn't go back from Batman and Robin to Val Kilmer being Batman again, right? Mm-hmm. You didn't go back from Batman Begins to George Clooney being Batman again. So if you're going to have a continuing story and then put another one in between, will you confuse the audience when you do things like that? You have your connected universe and then you have your separate universe.
I see what you're saying.
Because like even in the comics now in the DC
rebirth, I'm saying people understand recasting, but will the movie go... I know comic book fans get it, but will the movie audience just accept this is a different story with a different person playing Batman or Joker or whoever, but that's separate from
all you have to do
story.
Because they already introduced it in the comics, but just introduce it in film, that everything is canon and it's a multiverse. It's just in different universes. This person is this same person. They look completely different, and it's the story spins out a different way, but it relates in some kind of way.
You know why I disagree with that, though? Because would you accept 2 Wolverines? There's only one Wolverine in your head. So are you able to where, out of nowhere, you don't see Hugh Jackman popping up? Like, if Hugh Jackman, we know he's done, right? And that's it. And they're recasting for the long haul Wolverine for the new age of, Fox and Disney. That's one thing to accept. But if there was a Hugh Jackman making Logan 2, and then you just see another person playing Wolverine in a random Captain America movie, you'll be like, wait, what?
What if they had somebody like not Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool? Meanwhile, the Deadpool series is still going on. And the other thing is, you know why Avengers did $2 billion? Because you had 10 years of build-up with
continuity,
the same characters in the same story.
Right.
So why would I be invested in the side stories. I get that it's cool and we get it in the comics. I don't know that the mass audience would care, and it may confuse them. Like, which one should I pay attention to?
Right. If now they're competing with one another.
Yeah, that's right. What if one of the side stories does well and we want a sequel to that? So now that's a separate side series with its own trilogy that's separate from your connected
I don't get why
trilogy.
it's not. I mean, to some people, but if you don't get it, it's not for you. It's just like how.
But
let me say this. Let me say this before you cut me off. When I read Spectacular Spider-Man, I don't expect it to be the Amazing Spider-Man story or the Ultimate Spider-Man story, because it's a completely separate thing. It's still all Spider-Man. It's still whatever, but it's separate stories. It's just like with artists and writers in comic books, you could do the same thing with, film. And each one could be its own series. Why not? If you do it in comic, why can't you do that in film?
I just think,
as long as it's good content, then do it. Okay. Why not?
I think it's a different
that expands
medium.
the world. Why? But it can be the same. Okay. Is what I'm saying.
From a comic, you're a comic fan. We're comic fans.
But I'm saying it can be the same in film as well. It hasn't been done yet, but it can be done.
Let me put it to you another way, and maybe this can kind of put the argument to bed. Maybe it could work, but DC can't do it. No, I'm just saying, because they don't have goodwill, right? The audience, if Marvel said, like, yo, we got a multiverse, I'm with it, right? Yeah. Because they already came out and just sold you on a talking raccoon, right? Yeah. You can't have everything be shaky. Your main universe is fucked up. Sorry for my French, right? But your main universe is effed up, and like, hey, look at this side thing. It's just going to seem like another gimmick coming from them. So maybe if Marvel can usher that in and have it be a new standardized thing, maybe. Yeah. Right? But
Marvel would have to introduce it first.
I don't think, because they have a certain level of trust, and Marvel can put out Marvel could put out 3 bricks in a row and still have people on their side.
In all honesty, they could introduce the multiverse through Doctor Strange in the next Doctor Strange movie if they wanted to do that.
They may do it in Infinity War.
They can do it there too.
But I just don't think DC has they're not strong enough to do that yet. Yeah. You need a tentpole project that people are invested in, to where it's like, you know what? I trust them so much, I'm going to just rock out with it. I think right now, the idea that there's a Jared Leto and a Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie,
I can see somebody immediately shutting off.
It's just like, what?
It's like,
what is
the
this?
one person in movies who does that is like Deadpool, because he acknowledges everything it exists.
Right.
And this movie version of that one exists and this one exists, but it's separate.
And honestly, what I think is going to happen with this whole, I think that I don't ever think they had plans to do any of these Joker movies. It's just
throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks, man.
Yes, let me just leak it.
Just keep it out there in the public consciousness.
Okay, this one's closer. We're going with.
So you're saying that we just helped
like
them
enough
out?
people have retweeted this one, so let's green like that.
Exactly.
This got however many retweets.
They need to keep Henry Cavill. Well, they don't need to do anything, but I think Henry Cavill did a good job as
He Superman. He did a fantastic job, and Man of Steel was the best thing the DCFU ever did. But the piss is already in the pool. You got to throw everything out, even Wonder Woman.
He peed in your pool.
So you're saying get rid of Gal Gadot?
She was dope, and so was Henry Cavill. But the stink of Justice League is on them, right?
But here's the whole thing. Here's the whole thing. I hear what you're saying, Steve. But if they Thor Ragnarok this thing, they could fix it.
Just completely forget
all of that shit. Just make it. It's just like how Deadpool, and even though it's the same actor playing Deadpool, when he came with that movie, it made you forget about the stink of the Wolverine movie. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, X-Men Origins, Wolverine.
Right.
Exactly. They could do the same thing with them.
He definitely fixed up the timeline.
They could fix it.
Okay, now.
They could use Flash and be like, yo, all this shit was stupid. And then Flash fixes it. You know what I'm saying? In the multiverse.
Right.
Okay.
And then Flash acknowledges the stupid CG mustache. She was like, we really did that?
I think they're really going to hold on to that humor for Flash. To do
they
something,
could do it.
To do something like that.
Because the same way, like how it seemed almost like Thor, even though he wasn't breaking the fourth wall.
So now this
but
is
they could fix it, bro.
The title of this episode, right? The question is DC positioned actually? Because we have
don't take yourself so seriously and then fix it.
There's a lot of variables now coming in the future.
Okay.
Is DC positioned to finally take on Marvel? I'm going to show you. Let me This is the title of the show.
Okay.
Right? Clickbait, but still. So what's happening now is Walter Hamada is in charge.
Okay.
We have our first images of Wonder Woman, which I'm going to show us next, as well as Aquaman.
Okay.
They've announced The Flash, Back to the Future.
Okay.
Right?
Going back in time.
Marvel, because they don't want any spoilers and stuff, are not going to be at Comic-Con this year.
Is that many more topics?
What?
Or is all that one topic?
This is all one topic.
Okay, because he was like, and
no.
But
my point is,
right, just like look at what DC is doing.
Are they actually positioning themselves to actually be a force at the box office, as well as in storytelling, where we're lining ourselves up? James Wan has, like, what was the last whack movie James Wan put out?
Can't think of it.
And he's used to blockbusters. He did Fast and Furious, which made $1.5 billion.
It's based on the product that they're about to put out. They can do all of this hype. We're talking about them ad nauseum. Once again, talking about DCFU. They got the money lined up. They got these movies that maybe not coming out. Yeah, all this and that, photo ops and everything.
They're owned by AT&T. Maybe AT&T's like, yo, everybody's going.
Everybody, right? Snapping their fingers, right?
Yeah.
Turning everybody to dust. So
who
knows? But
you need him,
we'll see when that first product comes out. And I guess the first product on their slate is Aquabro.
Right. And so my point also, but even this summer at San Diego Comic-Con, Marvel will not be there. Well, they're not. They don't have they'll be there, but they don't have a panel.
Right.
There's a lot of people. Game of Thrones don't have a panel either.
No, but this is what I'm saying. This is DC's
stuff that you expect
one and only chance.
Yeah.
Like, you better have
it's like, yo, we gonna let y'all
Aquaman.
This is taking that shot at the Death Star.
You better have Matt Reeves out there saying this is what we're doing with Batman, and you could get the people on your side. You could be like, yo, DC owned Comic-Con this year. Right? And that will get people hype going into Aquaman, which will lead into Wonder Woman, which will for some reason lead into Shazam. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
And
maybe Marvel is just holding their stuff for New York Comic Con.
Kevin Feige may retire after Infinity War, right?
Lies, yeah.
Or he may want to run the whole of Disney. Who knows?
Making too much money, of course.
My point is, they may be getting rid of Iron Man and Captain America.
He about to get a corner office in the damn freaking castle in Disney World.
But what I'm saying is, Marvel is getting ready to deal with a kind of a reset after Infinity, the next Avengers, right?
Right.
Something's going to change. They're going to scale things back. So I'm saying at that stage, they will have to rebuild to whatever the next Infinity War is. Meanwhile, DC will be building again. So it's like they have an opportunity to get in without the
This is what they're trying to do. In the next phase, it's this Fox thing. That's why we need it to happen, because they're gonna slowly introduce the X-Men. They could bring Storm to frickin' and then introduce that
DC
with.
Right now.
I don't care.
All right, because we're gonna come and talk about that in a second. All right, let's just move on.
Yes, sir.
For the sake of time. So, also, and again, more to that point, DC this week just showed off the first promo images of Wonder Woman 1984. I guess that's the working title or the title. And Aquabro.
Okay.
So, maybe it's not all doom and gloom. I mean, these pictures look, and for some reason, spoiler alert, Steve Trevor's back.
Well,
who died at the end of Wonder Woman.
So
didn't he definitely die?
Yes.
Well, how do we know he died? How do we know he didn't jump out and parachute off camera and we didn't just see
Now,
it?
I heard a fan
But still,
theory,
if he still looks young, then I think it's Martian Manhunter.
Could be taking that form. I got another one for you.
Yo, I got another
one
like
for
that.
You.
That no.
Yeah.
That one sticks.
Now, but what if
that one sticks?
Here's another fan theory. What if they just do some moving around, and they say that right before the plane crashes, the ring
he's the Green Lantern,
Trevor, and he's the
Green Lantern. Doesn't age.
That's a good one too.
That's a good one too.
That's a good one.
But it's one of the two. It's definitely one
I
of the
would
two.
prefer the Green Lantern thing.
I don't care if he comes back as the Martian. For you to do Martian Manhunter, that's pretty dope.
I want Martian Manhunter to be a black guy.
Well, it doesn't matter because he's still not black.
I know. But
he could be whatever. He could be a white woman.
He's a black guy in the Superwoman TV show, so make him black hair.
That's just to give, another black actor a job because he can be whatever.
Really
don't denounce
Cyborg.
Like that. Come on, that's brutal.
Okay, but
he could be whatever.
And now, see, this is the thing. This has, and by the way, Patty Jenkins says that they are sort of eschewing some of the things in the current DCFU that don't make sense.
I like that Green Lantern's Corp one too. That's a pretty good
essentially, idea. So the whole idea that, I turned away from mankind after the thing she said in BVS.
Right.
They're
all
like,
the wars and ills.
That Green Lantern shit makes sense because of the fact that he sacrificed himself would prove his mettle as a person, and he's a pilot.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be whatever names because none of that stuff matters.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't matter. It's the essence of the character.
Right.
I don't care if it's whatever.
And you've been
chosen. Green Lantern could be anybody.
Anybody, yep. And you've been chosen at that one moment.
Off. And remember, Geoff Johns is working on the Green Lantern.
And then you just kind of segue to now he's Green Lantern.
And Chris Pine is a big A-list actor. That's a good guy to be Green Lantern.
Yep.
He's definitely.
He has the look.
Yeah, he does have it.
He has the look.
But he's definitely either Martian Manhunter or the Green Lantern.
You heard 2 points.
You know what? He is only Green Lantern. I don't want to hear nothing else.
It could be Martian Manhunter too.
It could be Martian Manhunter.
Okay. Now, also, EW.
And he has that hairstyle that's exactly like Green Lantern.
He does look Green Lantern-ish.
Now it's Green Lantern. That's it.
Yeah. EW
has... R.I.P. to Cry Reese.
Forget about it. No, but if it's Green Lantern Corps, it's going to be sort of
a bunch of them.
I know.
There will still be the black one as well.
Yeah. Still RIP. Anyway.
It might be Idris Elba because I see it.
They chose Idris Elba for...
No, I'm saying he could do it. Idris Elba could be Green Lantern. I've seen, pictures of him as a Green Lantern.
That would be crazy. And he's dead in the MCU.
Exactly. So he could do it.
But EW has showed off the first promo images.
Is he dead, or is he...
He's super dead because it's not like he snapped his finger and put him in the Soul Stone. He killed him.
I don't know if this is emblematic of how people will care about Aquaman in theaters, but
I've been trying to bring up
Aquaman
for 2 minutes. If you think about it, they went in there and said, okay, because his eyes is the same color as the Soul Stone, but they had to figure out, that's the genius of Marvel, where you go, all right, how can we connect the dots with, the relationship that he has with his daughter, Thanos, right? And so they just rewrite the whole thing, where it probably was he had the Soul Stone, right? This guy, what's his name?
It's just
Resco.
Yeah, what was his character?
Heimdall,
right? He probably had the Soul Stone, which is why he can look into everyone's soul.
Yeah.
But they said, you know what? Let's just kind of change it up, and because then there's no connection with the daughter, the relationship. Let's make it a little more impactful, and they do that. Marvel, man.
You're doing this on purpose.
These dudes.
But let's talk about Aqua, bro. Because we gotta.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Aquaman. So.
Yeah. Aquaman's on screen.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Are we excited?
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait.
Jason Momoa,
James Wan, and Abdul Mateen III.
So this is the first look. This picture is supposed to make me excited, shirtless with a tattoo.
No, there's
and
more. Look at what's on the screen now.
All I see is that picture because we have the delay.
Okay, well, you'll see more shortly.
All right, great. That's what's up.
Okay,
it's looking good.
So, no, but look at Atlantis. This could be
the pictures
good.
that I've seen. I don't see it on the screen yet. Okay, I'm seeing something now, but I saw a picture with them. It looked like they were in the wreckage of a ship, but they did it practically with practical effects.
It doesn't look like Shazam's suit, that's for sure.
Okay. And again, I don't know. I'm starting to get excited about this because I trust James Wan.
Yes.
I don't trust the DCFU, but I do trust James Wan. And now he just made sure he got a shot of himself in here directing.
Just to let it be known that, hey, I'm doing this. This is really happening. This is not fake.
He's doing the whole framing thing.
Yeah. Which is standard director hand movement.
Yes.
To show that
this is the angle I want.
Yeah.
Is this the shot with him and Jason Momoa and the girl inside the ship wreckage? That shot?
Yes, that's
yeah.
Okay. Now it is time to move on
Focal point.
almost Speaking of James Wan,
because you got people waiting.
Fax machine.
James Wan and Steven Spielberg are teaming up to do an Arachnophobia reboot. So there's that.
All right.
Anybody? Nobody?
Nobody cares.
Okay. All right.
Spiders.
But James
that's
Wan.
what we're doing. James Wan. So that's supposed to make me excited.
Steven Spielberg.
I don't care.
As long as the depths are on point. Like,
so it's gonna be super giant spiders.
Yeah.
Like
let
ridiculously.
Those spider depths be dope. I want a dark arachnophobia. You're doing all these damn reboots. Give me a dark arachnophobia.
James Wan is the current master of horror, so.
But Steven Spielberg is there, so it's gonna be like, fantasy of child's imagination.
Don't worry about that.
Even though I'm just seeing the picture now, what's your feelings about Black Manta being black? It's a black dude.
Abdul Mateen III.
There you go.
But why he got to be black? Can you just be
black?
Manta?
I mean, Black Panther is black.
I know.
They might just call him Mantis.
Black Lightning.
Yeah.
They might call him Mantis, just in and not even say Black Panther.
Oh, also Dolph Lundgren's in that movie.
In what movie?
He's playing the Pops.
In what movie?
In Aquaman.
All right, come on, man.
All right. Okay. Now it is time to move
But nobody cares about the Spider movie.
The focal point.
John Goodman.
Okay, so in this new world of inevitable corporate mergers, this week the DOJ has officially approved the Time Warner AT&T merger. And this includes the CW, CNN, TBS, TNT,
Wow, they just
Warner
bought up
Brothers,
everything, huh?
the DCFU, and HBO. And roughly 48 hours after the DOJ approved it, AT&T and Warner Brothers finalized the deal, and so AT&T is the official owner of the brand new Time Warner.
So AT&T now owns DC.
Yes, that's it. $85 billion. Now, that has now led the way to because Disney and Comcast were looking to both. They're both courting Fox. And Comcast was apparently waiting for the approval from the Department of Justice to make their offer on Fox, and they have now outbid Disney by a margin of 19% for the Fox assets. Whereas Disney was offering $52 billion in stock, Comcast is offering $65 billion in cold hard cash.
Yeah, but the whatever billion in stock is potentially worth way more money than
potentially, but why not take the $65 billion and just buy stock?
Because Disney is printing effing money. That's why.
No. I understand that. What I'm saying is, if I have $65 billion
I just read some
cash,
crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I can just go and buy
right
$65 billion worth of Disney stock, if what I want is Disney stock. Or I could buy $52 billion in Disney stock and keep that other $13 billion. Oh, by the way, Comcast is also offering to pay the bailout fee because Disney and Fox have signed an agreement. Yeah. And there is, if someone backs out of the deal, there's like a $1.5 billion penalty that the other company has to pay.
Right.
Comcast says, yeah, we'll pay that fee to Disney.
Yo, I'm going to say this because I haven't cursed all show, and I wanted to save it for them. Fuck Comcast! Nobody give a fuck about that bullshit. I'm trying to see my goddamn Wolverine versus Hulk movie. I'm trying to see this fucking new Avengers type shit.
That's three.
God damn it.
3 F-bombs.
Yo, I don't give a shit. I've been saving it for this time. I've been holding back. I've been holding these dogs back. Like, I want to see that. Because after the Infinity War, we need to build up to something else. We need to see them introduce the X-Men. We need to see these characters, like I said, like Black Panther.
Marvel has thousands of
No. Let me talk. I need to see freaking T'Challa marry Storm. I need to see freaking Hulk and Wolverine. I need to see all of this stuff together. I need to see them bringing Galactus, the Silver Surfer. Right. I need to see the Fantastic Four. I need to see that because that will build to a whole new big movie.
Right.
Like, and that's for that to happen. I need Disney to get at least the Marvel characters. Fuck Comcast. I said it again.
All right.
Pardon my French. But this is the only thing I care about on everything we talked about. F them. They bet not.
This has been a build up.
Okay. I'm gonna come looking for you.
This has been a legit build up. I can't.
Now here's the thing. For Comcast,
I think he's been reserved about this.
Yes,
probably literally
that like you brought my energy. I was holding back.
Now Comcast is they feel like they're really fighting for their life, right?
F y'all.
But here's the thing.
Disney gang. Gang.
Comcast. If this doesn't work for Comcast, Comcast is just finished.
Fuck them.
Right?
Again, I'm sorry. I won't curse no more.
If Disney doesn't get
they
Fox,
deserve it.
Disney will be just fine.
All the F-bombs in the world.
I won't be fine. My inner geek and childhood will not be fine if Disney does not get these properties.
What I said was if Comcast.
You said Comcast is finished, but Disney will be fine. But I don't give a shit. Let Comcast be finished. Right. F them. I don't even have Comcast cable.
Comcast doesn't have Comcast cable.
Exactly.
So
they dripping with whack juice and they can't get it off. Don't nobody want them to have it. They're just gonna stink it up. Yo, we need the next build up. The fans, I need that, and I know it's millions of other people out there that agree with me. Nobody, none of the fans want Comcast to get it. Who? Tell me who wants them to get it. Raise your hand. Anybody in this room? No.
Okay. So, but the reason why this is the focal point, because we all knew this was happening, but it's real now. Like, the offer's on the table, right, and now the shareholders have to consider it.
Yo,
my question
who runs Disney? Iger or somebody?
Bob Iger is the CEO.
Yo, get on it. You got the money.
Some people gonna argue that Kevin Feige's running Disney, but
whatever. Cut the check. Y'all got it. Cut the check.
But then it'll be a bidding war. But my real question is,
y'all gonna lose. Y'all gonna hold this L. I said so.
Here's the
Disney got this. Gang.
Here's the funny thing, though. The reason I wanted this to be on the focal point, aside from it being real now and a real threat instead of a theoretical thing, are we just going into these world where all of these big companies are going to get gobbled up, right?
Yes.
Because look.
Yo, big fish eat little fish, bro. That's how it goes. AT&T buying up shit. Disney buying up shit.
Well. I don't like that.
You know what I mean?
Right. That's the way it's always been.
And Sony's out there like, we'd like to be purchasing companies as opposed to be getting purchased, but Sony don't got the
Facebook
money.
bought up Instagram.
I mean, and look.
They either buy you up or they put you out of business.
The way
so get down or lay down. That's how it works.
How business is moving and operating now is that's what's going on. Where all these companies are buying one another, expanding, and everything else, and it's all about the content crisis. That's what it really is, right? Everyone's in content crisis mode. Do we have enough to keep eyeballs on our product? And so that's why you have even something like with Facebook, where you have them putting out things saying like, yo, catch us on 9 for a new show of this, or catch us at 10. You look at Netflix, where we talk about it all the time. Netflix is doing their thing, but there's so much content. There's an overabundance of content where they're literally telling you schedules to watch a show. They're trying to slowly introduce, well, not slowly, but they're introducing that with little bits and pieces of shows that they put out. You can catch him bi-weekly on a Wednesday, or you can watch a new episode of this, and trying to see if that can keep the eyeballs there, because there's so much there that you can't keep up. You know, Disney is out there saying like, look, we're about to do our streaming service. You know, Comcast, as you said, they don't have anything to begin with. You know, so everyone is at a content crisis mode and trying to just buy each other up. And for me personally, I just look at it that it sucks because you know, it shrinks to where you can go to kind of whether if you want to sell your product or not. And then will it make it harder for you to just survive on your own independently? Does it become a point where you just have to dealing with the big fish? You know, so
one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
So as a content creator, to me, my worry here is that there are less people that I can go to.
Hey man, just make some dope shit and sell it to Disney, bro. You be alright.
And now the other thing is, if Disney gets Fox,
and then they'll start telling him to change his character to something else.
They will own 40% of the box office. If Comcast gets Fox, they'll own about 27% of the box office. So it 40% for one company of the box office is pretty crazy.
That's crazy.
But who cares? I'm gonna get this movie though.
All right. Now we are moving on to our final point of the day, which is what would you do? We have
if your son was at home,
but we can
do the time constraints.
What would you do?
All right. Now, what would you do? Okay.
Maybe there'll be a part 2 to
pardon tier.
To that Comcast. More to say about that. Yeah. Speaking of Comcast, now that it is a definite reality that the X-Men may not come home.
Lies! Don't you put that energy out there. Don't you put that shit on it, Ricky Bobby.
What should Comcast do with the X-Men if they get them?
What should Comcast do with the X-Men if they get them?
Meaning, should they continue the series that's out now, or should they cancel everything? Should they recast?
Want me to tell you what they should do? Kill yourself, because you're not getting it. That's what you should do. Kill yourself right now. Off yourself, because it's not going to happen. Okay. That's what I said. That's what you should do. Kill yourself. You done out here, son. You done out here. Disney got this money. They pockets is long. I got this.
What you can feel good about
Comcast pockets is long.
No, but what all I'm gonna say is
what you could do is eat it up till you hiccup and Earl. That's what you could do.
Look,
Get on out of here.
You could feel good to know that there is a possibility that Disney just might buy up the portion of Fox of dealing with the X-Men.
You know what you should do,
There's a possibility of that.
You know what you should do, Disney? Buy Comcast.
That's a part of it.
Buy Comcast and tell them you fired.
You realize that Comcast and Disney are worth about the same amount of money, within a few $1 billion of each other.
Whatever.
And
Disney got more.
The question is, Disney was going to pay all stock, right?
Yeah,
if
Comcast
Disney
is paying
cash.
Cash.
If Disney has to outbid Comcast, at some point, Fox is going to be more money than they're willing to pay. Like, Disney is worth a lot of money, but they're not worth Apple money. They're not worth Google or Microsoft money, right?
Right.
The potential money there, though, is they're going to make it.
At some point, they would end up having to buy it for more than what they're worth.
The merchandise and the potential money to make, pay whatever, because y'all
going to make it. What would you do?
What would you do? What should Comcast
I told you what they should do. Kill themselves. Because y'all not going to do nothing with it because Disney going to get it. That's what you're going to do with it.
Mr. Woods, what should Comcast do?
They should kiss my ass. That's what they should do.
Okay.
But go ahead, seriously. But kiss my ass. Go ahead.
Comcast should make a Storm movie.
Okay. Same Storm now or recast?
No.
Okay.
I told you who's my Storm. Megan Good.
Okay. Why not?
Megan Good.
Okay. I think that Comcast...
I like it.
I'll make the movie.
Okay.
I like Megan Good as Storm, but not in no Comcast goddamn movie. If Marvel gets it, yes. Right. With her and Chadwick Boseman, yes. I'll take it.
We're getting long in the tooth, gentlemen.
I'll take it.
Now...
But what would you do?
What I think Comcast should be very wary of is fans like LeVar. Now, we know that we can just look at Star Wars. We can look at the DCFU. When the fans are pissed off, they will boycott your movie, and that stink of death on you is very hard to get off.
Yeah.
Comcast is going to piss off a lot of fans if they stop this X-Men and MCU merger from happening. And
yes, they will boycott.
The fans may not even accept anything they do.
I won't.
So, if Comcast does get the X-Men, I say that they enter into a Sony Spider-Man style deal with the X-Men.
It's just like, we got this, but Marvel will rent them out to y'all.
I hope you know that the fans are already, as looking at this article or whatever, that the fans are already like in an uproar and they're getting ready to boycott Comcast. They're writing letters. They're writing letters to Comcast saying, do whatever you want, but you do not touch the X-Men. And
you thought I was joking? You thought I was joking? We need this
right now.
Because that's going to mess up the future movies for us, the fans. Like, Marvel already got plans. They're not announcing it to you, but they got plans.
Premium from Disney, because they're paying a 13% premium, or 19% if you include the penalties. Maybe they can make some of that back by selling the X-Men to Disney. Who knows? But that's all we got this week, folks. Yeah. And I want to take this time
that's
to
all,
say,
folks.
Take a moment to please like and share this on your social media. Tell your friends about it.
Yes, sir.
Also, we are getting ready to set up a Patreon. So if you want to donate to the production of this show, it'll keep us going and keep the product getting better. Please do so. We will have details about that for you in next week's show. Mr. Johnson, tell them where they can find you, sir.
The dude abides with a Z at the end and a couple periods in between. And always, always, always in your girl.
Okay.
Throw this up in
bang, your bang, bang.
All right. Mr. Woods.
He shook the table.
Yeah, man.
Where can they find you?
I just threw you off.
Yeah, pretty much.
The bang threw you off. Huh?
Why Woods, Why Not on most social media platforms or whywoodswhynot.com.
All right. And
all right.
you can find me in a couple of minutes recording a new episode of the 36 Chambers of Fatherhood, and
shout out to them dads.
Yeah. Shout out to All Hail Wilderman. Happy Father's Day and all of that stuff.
Monday, we're going to be doing a special episode of Second Page because there's all kinds of stuff going on in the government.
Yeah, shit show, bro. Shit show, bro.
We're
Nothing
just
happened.
using
F Donald Trump
to justify fuckery. But okay. Also,
I think
you can
things are
find
running
me on your favorite social media network, as long as it's not Snapchat. At Steve A.M. Johnson. And that's really all it is, folks.
Yeah. This
has been the 24th episode of On the Real. And, we love you. Hugs, not drugs.
Wakanda forever.
Later.
All right, folks.